Good. I'm doing good as well. Thank you for asking. All right. So, as you guys have seen here, I just sent the news as well in the chat. We have a pretty late week. So we have no news Monday and Tuesday. So not no trading for me there. We have FOMC meeting minutes, which is always a weird one for me. It usually acts, well, sometimes acts as a volatility injection. So I'm going to be looking for scalps on Wednesday. And then you have Thursday and Friday with A plus trading days. So late week, right? And when we expect the expansion of the week to be at the end of it, right, in the later end, then usually when that happens, you have a reversal week that forms. So you have consolidation early during the week, followed by a reversal pattern to start the expansion, the distribution of the week. And today I want us to start on DXY because it goes back 2 weeks ago with our analysis of DXY being bullish being invalidated, right? We did not respect this gap at all. And yeah, that is, well, technically 3 weeks ago. But I wanted to show you guys how we interacted with set gap. So weekly fair value gap. I don't have my colors right on this one. Give me a second. Let me just adjust it. And weekly fair value gap. There we go. So we inverted this fair value gap also, which is now an inverted fair value gap. We traded into it, retested it, and are expanding lower. This is giving me a sign that we are bearish. Up to when? Well, we'll see how we interact with this specific liquidity. But the algorithm does one of two things. Either targets liquidity or rebalances inefficiencies, seeks inefficiencies or seeks liquidity. And right now it is seeking liquidity below this low. So that's the first point. And then that sweep into I'm on a weekly chart by the way, into another weekly fair value gap could be how we frame a continuation higher, but I'd expect it to probably go even lower to this one. And once we get there, well, we're still consolidating, right? So that will have to be for later. But for this week, I have this objective and I'm going to see how we interact with this specific fair value gap. And if we go down to a daily chart, even cleaner, I expect this gap to offer distribution lower. And if we look at the daily candles, this was Friday, see that respect of consequent encroachment, that is an algorithmic signature that tells us that, hey, we're in a rush, right? This inefficiency has been rebalanced. We are very bearish. We're going to expand towards this low resistance liquidity. And as I stated, probably even lower to here. So for that, we'll have to see. But first objective on DXY is lower, which then means that on indices, I'm going to be looking for continuation of higher prices. Really straightforward. If I look at my weekly chart, I'd like to see us close above this. I'm talking, of course, at the end of the weekly candle, which is far away, but I'd like to see us close on top of this. So basically, I'll go back to a daily chart. I want to see us continue to higher prices, and this large gap is a clear area where I'd like to see a reaction. How deep in it? I'll look at PD array quarters, right? See the respect of a specific levels. We are looking for algorithmic signatures in price. So I'm going to look for that. But this, again, see the bodies of this candle, which is our Friday candle. We traded all the way down into here, but didn't want to close there. That is a large indication that we're very bullish. And again, same thing on a daily chart. I want to see us close above this, which I'm going to keep as a level for myself. So I'm going to put that purple. So I want to see us close above this line right here, show indications that we are very bullish, because if we start seeing a deep retracement within this range, then there's these low resistance failure swings right here, which could make it so we have a retracement all the way down here. And then once we're down here, I told you guys already for the past 2 weeks, I don't like this area. I don't like these failure swings, these gaps in liquidity. So for me to continue framing higher prices, framing longs, I don't want us to start digging into here. Basically, leave this gap open would be best bet scenario, unless there is divergence. So for example, NASDAQ trades back into it, being the weaker asset at the moment, and ES leaves it open. That is good enough for me, because if we look at ES right here, we can see that we haven't closed as well, but we traded a little higher into it, and now I want us to expand past it, and same thing, I want to see a close above it to continue framing higher prices. If I take the context of this week into account, this is where two possible outcomes come out. Why? Well, we have news starting on Wednesday. Let me just find it. There we go. This is our news. So what could happen? Well, I said it at the beginning of it. When we have late news, we can often expect a reversal week, a midweek reversal profile. So we could go down early week and expand higher, which would form a classic buy week based on my bias, based on my analysis. But we could also go higher early during the week, especially with this rejection being here, closing above this. This is a very clear indication that we're extremely bullish. So we could expand higher right now and then form a retracement to be our weekly expansion. So yes, I'm bullish. I'm looking for higher prices, but I'm understanding that if my objectives are met early during the week, then my weekly expansion will be lower and it will be a retracement, and then I'll be targeting this which will probably be a swing low if we expand higher on Monday and Tuesday, and then possibly targeting these low resistance liquidities. But I'm not expecting us to do that. I would like to see Monday usually expands on weeks like this, but expansion of 100 handles I don't really care for. So even if Monday expands right here, and then we see a small Tuesday manipulation lower to then expand higher, that would be best case scenario. So I want to see consolidation / small ranges early week, possibly trading back again inside of this range. We could dig deeper into this before expanding higher. And that is all in line with the DXY analysis. So very simple this week. DXY is bearish, NASDAQ is bullish. They both have inefficiencies. You can frame a trade where they both align, and those are high probability conditions. When indices and our dollar index are inversely correlated and they are following each other, well, inversely following each other, right? That is the best case scenario. So I'm really looking forward to this, and if we expand over this, I'm going to be bullish for the next week as well, just because this is a large consolidation right here. Manipulation, getting IPDA 40 lows. I'm talking a little more long term right now for you guys, because I don't usually touch on that subject too much, but just look at it as accumulation, manipulation, taking an important key liquidity, then time distortion before expansion higher, which would be what? Distribution, right? This is low resistance liquidity run on a daily chart. We had a little consolidation right here, but all news events days were expansions. So definitely looking for higher prices for the coming weeks. And I'm going to be trying to frame longs. I'm not going to be looking to short a retracement into this unless we expand higher early during the week, which will then mean that my weekly power of 3 distribution would be lower, weekly expansion lower. I'm going to be framing shorts then. Does that make sense? I'm seeing Charles typing. You got a question for me? Small audience tonight. I wonder where everybody is. Glad you guys showed up. Shows a lot of character, if I can say so. I see a lot of familiar faces. Of course, I see students in here as well. But I see you, Charles, almost always there. Cho and Callie, always there. All right. Glad it was all clear. Again, I hope someone will come one day and say, I didn't understand anything of that. Just so we can extend these calls, because 9 minutes is kind of quick. But it is a pretty simple week in terms of what we can expect. There are 2 clear outcomes, and the first one being the best, of course. I really want to see DXY push lower aggressively. So yeah, hopefully we can get some of these Apex accounts passed, right? With the new promotion, I still got a few left I want to pass. I'm switching all my 50Ks to 250s, so hopefully we can achieve that. You guys have a great time, great night. If there are no questions, I'm going to end the call right here. Quick one tonight, but as I said, pretty straightforward week. All right, no questions. Well, you guys have a good one. Can we go deeper in the fib? Deeper in the fib. Do you mean right here? Right? My fib, which is just the fair value gap, right? I just separated it into quarters. Yeah, definitely. Early week, if we expand lower, that's what I want to see. So best case scenario, I want to see us dig into this fair value gap, possibly deeper, no need to, before expanding higher. Power of 3, open, low, high, close. Make sense? All right. Pleasure. All right. Well, you guys have a good night. Very much good luck trading. I'm not going to be trading before Wednesday. I might do a little midweek analysis call. We'll have to see then. If you guys want to see one, just tell me in chat. Someone write a message in chat, get some reacts, and I'll take the time to if there is the need for it. You guys have a great night. We'll talk soon.